Let's go next to the 513 area code. Caller from 513. Who's there?
Hey, is this me?
That's you. Yeah, who's this?
Oh, this is Vivek from Ohio.
Go
How's it
ahead, Vivek.
going? Yeah, I wanted to ask you if you're familiar with that's kind of a philosophical question, if you're familiar with the concepts of free will and determinism.
Yes, I am.
So would you say that you believe basically in determinism, or at least that free will doesn't exist?
This is such a bigger question, and I've read so much about this. I sort of am of the mindset, you might be shocked to hear this as someone who is so often espoused that I don't think most things in life are black and white. I don't see
Mm-hmm.
it as one or the other in the literal sense. I think that this is sort of like the moral relativism question, which is there's
Mm-hmm.
often a debate where it's like, is moral relativism, are you a moral relativist or not? Do you believe in free will
Mm-hmm.
or determinism? With free will and
Right.
determinism, the best sort of explanation that most resonated with me has been that there is, of course, some degree of determinism for humans in the sense that everything that has happened came from the initial creation of the universe, and we are made of star stuff, and there is sort of there are limited confines within which humans exist as sort of biological carbon-based beings. So like in a sense, there is some narrowing scope in terms of what it is that any one human is going to do. Beyond that, the question of whether every single one of our actions is sort of predictable, if only we had the right machine, everything we are bound to do is already predetermined in a literal sense. I don't know the answer to that. And quite frankly, it doesn't even seem like that important of a question for how each of us lives our life on a day to day basis.
Yeah. So for me, the way that I like to think about it is that um, believing in determinism, or at least that free will doesn't exist. Like there are obviously some theories that have include quantum randomness, so that we can't like predict, even if we do have, even if we were able to measure everything. But the way that I like to think about it is that it gives me a better understanding of why people like do the things that they do. Like allows me to think about perhaps somebody's upbringing, why they would, what leads them to become a criminal, for example. That's the way that I like to think about it. I don't
There's
know if
another
you agree
element
with
to
that or
this,
not.
and Nassim Taleb, who wrote The Black Swan, I don't know if that's a book you've read. He
I don't.
talks about how even if once you sort of determine where you are on the spectrum between free will and determinism, the real world is probabilistic in the sense that even with a certain, this is why we talk about confidence intervals. You can say that with these inputs, 95% of the time, the results will fall within these sort of parameters. But 5% of the time, they won't. So even if there's a very strong deterministic sort of underpinning to human life and the universe and the world, we're still dealing in a probabilistic circumstance. And that's why, when you talk about upbringing, if 95% of the time a certain upbringing will lead to someone being conservative, that's not 100% of the time. And even if those inputs are deterministic to a great degree, it's not 100%.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks
Well,
for
I
taking my
think maybe
call.
we've said everything that we can right now. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it very much.